I tell people all the time, when you give in to the terrorists and you change your life to appease the terrorists win. But let me tell you something. You keep up all this stuff, because to me you're like throwing spitballs against a battleship. I actually sent your Earl to all over all my relatives, and they says, "You want to see what I do on TV? You want to see how well liked I am?" This is the type of following George and I get. This is we actually get a reaction from people.
Streamline every morsel of the show.
Let me tell you something. We can get a reaction from a bunch of teenage male virgins like this. Just think about how we do it with women and smart and educated people. Anyway,
streamline every morsel and every snippet of this show. I want you to.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring it on.
Because you people out there that from all over, we'll give you the best of the show. You people out there that want to know about the show, that's never seen the show, we'll give you the real nuts and the meat and potatoes of the show. The real version, not the distorted version, not the distorted bashing version. That doesn't add to the show. The distorted peanut gallery that want to bash me, that's not the show. It's our humor, our comical skits, and our intellectual talk that we do, our format, our form, our intellectual thoughts that we talk about amongst ourselves, our comical skits, and our comical one-liners. That's what makes the show. That's what makes the show flourish. Not a bunch of peanut gallery penises, pissants out there. They have nothing else better to do. Say it with me.
Who picked the piper picker pupper?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, now,
and
George,
to our fans out there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we can't take phone calls. I'm sorry that we have to dedicate a whole show.
We're not
these people, we're dedicating a whole show to these people, but I've got to get it out of the bag. I know, baby, what's going on. I might not be able to do anything legally, but but what I can do is stop it at the course. I might not be able to, do anything legally at the present time, but keep it up. I want you to keep it up, but you're not going to, because guess what? You're all not a part of what I do, because you're all not getting through the telephone line. Woo!
I don't think they can keep it up.
Woo!
I don't think the majority of these guys can keep it up for longer than 3 minutes, if you know what I mean. But anyway, but George, I have to lecture you. Let me take your side for a moment. No, I mentioned this to you last week that this is the price of fame. This is what being famous is all about. Not having sex with bimbos and wearing designer clothes and winning awards and driving sports cars. Being famous is picking your nose in line at the bank and then they take your picture, put on the cover of the National Enquirer. This is sort of what happened to us. So this is part of being famous. So
Kevin, I can't really say with a straight face that I'm as famous as I want to be. I don't consider myself to be, I am what you would call, I guess, an occult figure or an occult figure in this town or whatever, but I don't consider myself to be, basically I do a community access show. I make a little money out of it. I'm not making a lot of money out of it. We are in different cities, such as Baltimore and Albuquerque. Baltimore and Albuquerque, we are in those two cities on the community access channels. We are on Comcast. Let me get the story straight. We are on commercial-based TV, which is Comcast. You got that? Okay? And I'm not in control of this barbaric equipment. If it was my equipment, there would be a 7-second delay on this telephone line. You best believe that. So we would have the 7-second delay. And we had the caller ID on this thing has been busted. That's why sometimes the private calls.
You're telling all our secrets.
I don't care. No, but guess what? It's all academic, Kevin. It's all academic. It's all just a maroon. It's all just a maroon. It's all just,
what an ultramarine.
It's a mirage. And that's what it boils down to. Okay. So we are stopping it at the source. We are stopping it from the very root of the matter, the source. Streamline everything I say. Yank your sausage and masturbate. Masturbate into everything I say. Do it, please. I beg of you.
You don't have to beg them. They do it anyway.
Okay? But the spotlight, baby, is on me. Not you goons. But the spotlight is on me.
Always remember, you're the one with the show. They're the ones with the that thing that nobody wants.
I like to say in closing, to you people out there that read that garbage, half of it is not, all of it, the stuff on me, personal, is not true. I have never harassed. What's the terminology of harassment? Okay, I have never harassed any woman. I've never harassed any woman. I go out, I date platonically. I've got several friends. I've got several girlfriends platonically that I date. Okay, so I don't go out, harassing. Okay, I don't go out harassing anybody. Okay, I don't have a criminal record. You all want to dig up and say that I've got a criminal record. I don't have a criminal record. Okay, and from the forest and from all the other stuff about me working for, jokingly, a catering place that someone saw me delivering food. I worked for a caterer that delivers food. If you really want to know what I was doing or what I have been doing, I worked for an independent contractor for a delivery service that was a catering, and we catered to different companies for lunches. Okay, that was what I was doing on the side. Okay, that's peanuts. That's more like just extra work to fill my time. So some woman said that I delivered something. We delivered some food, delivering a caterer lunch to these people, and I do that on the side. So, lady, you saw me and you said, whatever you said, more man that you probably would ever dream of having, Miss Lydia, more man than you would probably ever dream of having. Okay, so why don't you play with yourself to my picture? Play with yourself with my picture, baby. Ah, can you feel the aroma?
Yeah.
Can you feel it?
The stench of.
What else do you want to? Mention before I.
What do I want to say?
The stuff that you saw. There was talk about you being the Martin Short.
Yeah. No, they just said what I look like. They said I look like Martin Short with Down syndrome.
Right.
They said I look like Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury, I thought was a good-looking man, so I took that. They said I look like Dean Stockwell from Quantum Leap, who dresses really sharp. Bring on the insults. I know. But
like I said.
Yes, so what?
I was angry.
Bunch of men.
Bunch
of boys.
I was angry. But when I combed through every nook and cranny, I started laughing. When I was pissed. I was pissed. I was ready to do legal action. But when I combed through every little thing that was said, and they were arguing amongst themselves. They would argue amongst themselves because we didn't take phone calls.
There was actually, I got to tell you a funny story about that. There's actually, if you're familiar with this show, you know that a few weeks ago we did a debate, a very heated debate that was very interesting. Where we brought up a lot of politics and all, and they actually, for people who don't know what we're talking about, all these people were mobilized to call us and cause all this trouble. Now this is the funny part. We were so heated in our discussions. There was like 5 or 6 of us here that we never got to calls. And you actually read it after the fact. They say, "Oh, there's 10 minutes left in the show. There's 5 minutes on the show." I don't think he's. I think he's on to us. Truth is, we weren't on to them.
We had
but they gave us more credit than
we had no idea. But guess what?
Yeah.
Now we know. We didn't know a thing. Ha ha ha! I didn't know a thing. But now I know everything. And guess what? Stops here. This harassment, this BS stops right now.